Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrian, and today we're going to discuss BOOKTOK's favorite books. The section of TikTok dedicated to books has been going wild, and they're reading a lot of books that I've read before, so I thought I would discuss and share my opinion on the books that I have read. Now, I personally am not a TikTok watcher. One, because when I have watched TikTok, I've gotten lost in it for literal hours at a time where I don't stop looking at it until I'm too hungry or thirsty or need to use the restroom so badly that I can't carry on. And number two, because I just don't get out of it what I would get out of YouTube. TikTok's too fast for me, okay? I'm slow. I like details. I like more information. I want just a slower form of entertainment. So let's talk about some of the BOOKTOK superstars, BOOKTOK darlings that I've read. First off, The Invisible Life of Addy LaRue by V.E. Schwab. TikTok has it right. This book is so good. I actually have a reading vlog for this. I think it must have been last Christmas because I'm wearing Christmas pajamas in my thumbnail. This book is about a girl who makes a deal to get out of an arranged marriage in 1700s France, but the deal is twisted and turns into she will live forever but no one will ever remember her. And that concept alone is heartbreaking, and reading and experiencing it with her as she experiences it for the first time, 5th time, 10th time is heartbreaking, and everything it sounds like it'll be. And then one day someone remembers her. Like, just saying that gives me chills. It's a beautiful book. It's an exploration of what it means to be remembered. It's about leaving a mark on the world, and it's a beautiful story. Next is a book that everyone loves except for me. Like, am I literally the only one who didn't like The Midnight Library by Matt Haig? I gave it 3 stars, but it was a generous 3 stars. I got nothing from this book, but I think it's just me, and I would still recommend reading it because chances are you're going to love it because most people love it. So this book follows a woman who's very depressed, and a lot of bad things have recently happened to her, so she commits suicide. And instead of just dying, she wakes up in the Midnight Library, which is a library full of all of the other paths her life could have taken, and she gets to go through and change her biggest regrets, moments in life, and then experience where she would be at in life today if she had followed that path. And we get to follow her through multiple paths, finding out what would have happened if she stayed in her band, what would happen if she tried out for the Olympic swim team. And the predictability of it, like, obviously you know what the life lesson is gonna be, right? I didn't love that there was really nothing to surprise me. And also I just never felt that connected to her or the other characters. I just didn't enjoy her or her experiences, and I just still can't comprehend what everyone felt for this book that I'm missing out on. So next, the most spot on accurate book recommendation the book TikTok has ever had. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is amazing. It's my top recommended book in real life. If a random person were to ask me without any background on what kind of books they want to read, I would tell them to read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's beautiful. Evelyn Hugo is a complicated, not perfect character, but she's so full of life. She has strong passions and desires, and she wants to do what she wants to do, and she's breaking through any obstacle she has to get there. The story's being told through her 7 husbands, which mark like eras of her life, but they are not the central story at all. This is all about Evelyn and the things that she does and the choices she makes and how it affects others. Just why Evelyn is this beautiful, beautiful fictional character that feels so real to so many of us. She truly is like a Hollywood icon, even though she's not real. Another Taylor Jenkins Reid, Daisy Jones and the Six. This follows Daisy Jones and the Six, which is her band, and it's a 70s rock group. And they made one album, went on tour, got big, and then the band broke up, and you're finding out why, going back to the beginning when they formed and following through their short time together. It's about love and drugs and all the things associated with 70s rock and roll, and the way that it's told in interview format is so wonderful because it makes it feel more real, but also it doesn't feel like you're just reading an interview. Like, you feel like you're really living through the experiences with these characters in the way that a novel would. It's fantastic. I think I prefer Evelyn Hugo over Daisy Jones, but they're both amazing. Next are 2 Sarah J Maas books, Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses. Throne of Glass follows an assassin in a fantasy world. I remember it being pitched as young adult Game of Thrones, and I have read the first few books multiple times, but I've never finished the series. And actually, years ago, I started a reading vlog where I was gonna read the entire series when Kingdom of Ash was about to release, so literally 3 years ago, I think. And I still have the footage of Throne of Glass through Tower of Dawn, and then I stopped. And I thought it would be fun to pick back up where I left off in the book series and also where I left off in the vlog and finally finish it, but also like discuss how much my life has changed in 3 years and how different like the beginning of the vlog would be from the end of the vlog. Like, have you ever watched a reading vlog that spans 3 years? That is quite the time jump, but I thought that would be fun. Is that fun? Would you watch that? Let me know. And then there's A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is in a fairy world, and a mortal comes and falls in love with a fairy fellow. But then throughout the series it becomes more of a grand scale. There is war. This also has war, but this one is way more romance heavy. This one has a lot of characters, a lot of romance, but this world feels much bigger. This is also a much bigger series. But I would say if you're just trying to decide which one to read, this one if you prefer romance, this one if you want a little more fantasy world building plot. Next is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Such a hit. So many people love this. I think I gave it 4 stars, but if I read it now, like, there's no way it would end up with 4 stars. It follows a girl, another girl in a fairy world, and she falls for the cruel prince, and he really is like cruel and a very bad person, fairy guy. But she spends the book fighting so hard to be accepted by these people who hate her. Well, these fairies that hate her because she's human, from what I can remember. And it's just not a love story that I can root for because he's literally cruel. But so many people love this, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying that kind of romance story. It's just like not my thing. Like, I just want to love a sweet, cute, precious guy, not like an a-hole. But I totally get why some people love that. Speaking of a sweetheart, Beach Read by Emily Henry. Actually, he is kind of an a-hole, but he only has like the facade of an a-hole, and really he's a sweet pea. But this follows 2 authors who are working on their next books, and they happen to be staying in neighboring houses at the beach. She is a romance author. He writes literary fiction. After some sparring over genres and what's harder to write, they decide to swap genres and write the other person's genre and see like which of them can get a book deal, which of them can sell it. And they also fall in love in the meantime, and it's so sweet. And if you have any interest in writing, it's so fun to read a book following 2 authors and while they're writing books. But I think this one is a great recommendation. It's cute, it's sweet, it's very summery, and literally a perfect beach read. It's a very good book. The last 2 books I don't have physical copies of, but If We Were Liars, I think I just lost it. It's probably behind me and you can see it, and I just couldn't find it. It follows a girl who stays every summer on an island with some other families and teenagers her age, and something happened last summer that she can't remember, and we are going back to her past and like experiencing her summer stays with her and then finding out what happened. And it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. At least there is like a reveal surprise that some people aren't surprised by, but I was shocked and I thought it was so good. I haven't read it in a long time, so I don't remember much, but whenever I think of that book, like, I can just remember the feeling that I had, the tears that were shed, and it was just such a great, memorable, heart-wrenching experience. And then finally, They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I don't get it. This book follows 2 boys in this world. You find out when you're going to die. 24 hours or the morning of or the day before you die, you'll get a phone call that says, hey, you're gonna die tomorrow. That's it. You can't change it. They literally both die at the end. It's telling you from the beginning, which honestly, I love the title. It's perfect, and it's like, I'm really promised you they're both going to die. But it's just weird how they never explain, like, how do you know? Because it's not like it's an arranged death, like they're freak accidents or natural causes or just the way normal people die. So like, how would you know? And why didn't we discuss that more? Because that's weird. But this follows two boys who, there's a program where you can link up with other people who are going to die and just like go be sad that you're gonna die together. And they fall for each other and it's cute. And then they die. Like they both die at the end. That's, I don't know. Why did I read it? I'm not sure. I don't know why I read it. But yeah, it was okay. I guess I don't understand why people are recommending it so much. Like, what did you get out of that that makes you want other people to read it? I don't know. Let me know if you agree with me or what other book talk recommendations you love or hate or disagree with that it's so heavily hyped. But yeah, most of the books I see on there that I've read, I'm like, yeah, that is a great book. But of course it makes sense that they're being recommended so hard. And I love whenever they're bringing up an old book that's kind of like went out of style a bit and now it's being revamped and reloved. So anyways, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed, please hit like or subscribe and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.